back with another tattoo tour. I'm super duper excited. I have some new tattoos that I wanted to show you guys. So sit back and relax and let's do this, bro. Alright, so we're gonna start off with the first one. The first one is the skull and dagger. I got this one when I was in London a couple of months ago. I saw this one, I liked the design, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let's get it. This is my second most expensive tattoo. That tattoo was £260, so that's equivalent to like 270, 275. Yes, looking back at it, overpriced without a doubt, but you must also realize London, it's like NYC, you pay top price for services and food, so unfortunately you're just gonna have to accept and deal with it. Looking back at it, I should have probably gotten that tattoo done somewhere else for half the price, but I was so excited and I was like, bro, I want this tattoo without a doubt. I'm trying to think what my second tattoo was that I got placed, because I have so many at the moment. It gets really confusing very quickly. Like when you have 2-3 tattoos, you're like, okay, I got this one first, this and that. But when you have nearly 10 tattoos, you're not going to be able to know which one you got first. The next one I got was the skull with the flower. I like this design as well. And again, my tattoos for me don't really have a meaning. There's only one tattoo in the collection that has an actual purposeful meaning. But for the rest, I just like the tattoos design-wise. And they, for me personally, they suit me really well. Now, the reason why I didn't go for a half sleeve or a full sleeve is because I personally like patchwork more. I'm not into sleeves and full sleeves. It's not my preference. My preference is patchwork, and that's why my left arm, my entire left arm, is almost completely covered in patch tattoos. So again, like I said, I got the skull with the flower. This one I recently actually adjusted with a little bit of red in it, because I was speaking to my tattoo artist and we were both like talking about the tattoo, and I said, could you maybe like adjust the color, because when I got the tattoo first, I wanted it to be orange, but the guy for some reason mixed yellow and orange and it kind of faded. So I was like, can you add maybe red to it? Of course I can. So that's why I got the tattoo. And every time I go to my tattoo artist, I have a tattoo artist that I go to, and I always say this: go to a tattoo artist that is obviously specialized in the work that he or she does. Don't necessarily go for the cheapest tattoo. It's the fact that I'm personally friends with my tattoo artist that I get good prices. But in general, tattoos are going to cost money, and I always suggest don't do them cheap by a friend or stuff like that, because often your tattoo is going to be fucked in the upcoming few months, because it is unfortunately often the case that people that don't have a license to do tattoos legally, professionally, often don't really know what they're doing. But again, don't save on tattoos, because at the end, long term, it's not worth it at all. Third one I got was the skeleton hand with the flower / rose, whatever you want to call it. This one, unfortunately, is one of my disappointing tattoos. One of my most disappointing, and that is due to the fact that I've only had that tattoo on my arm for 4 months, and it's already starting to fade, and that's not good at all. You don't want that with any tattoo. It's very normal for a tattoo to fade in a few years' time. It's the same thing like changing your oil car. Every few thousand kilometers, or every blah blah blah, whatever, you gotta change it, adjust it, and refresh it. And it's the same with tattoo. Every few years you gotta touch it, re-up it a little bit, give it a fresh new look. This one is probably one of the not worst tattoos by any means, because I like the design, but one of the poorest quality tattoos that I've got on my arm, due to the fact that the person who made the tattoo, or who tattooed me at the time, did it within 10 minutes, which is way too fucking fast for a tattoo. And I do believe that the ink that was used was from poor quality. So that tattoo that you see, I'm also going to get redone completely. Now the fourth one actually was my favorite, until I obviously got the latest tattoos. This one is really nice because of the fact that, well, it's a different design than the rest, and it's on the opposite arm. It's not on my left arm, it's on my right arm. And the right arm, I'm kind of aiming for a different theme. The left arm, I guess you can sort of say, is more dark themed, more chaotic. Nothing to do with the devil. I don't do none of that. Look, I'm not religious by any means, but I don't know what it is, but it's something about like satanic tattoos that I personally don't like. I don't like the style, and I feel very uncomfortable when I see satanic aimed tattoo, like devilish stuff. I'm not into that, but if that's what you like as a person, then hey, definitely go ahead. If that's your style, who am I to judge and stop you, right? It's just that my preference is not that style. So I got this tattoo because I liked the design. This was actually, believe it or not, at that time, the worst tattoo spot for me because I was sick when I got tatted, so it fucking hurted like a mofo. And also, one thing I will say, which this is for a beginner and for everyone, recommend is always to eat before you go to your tattoo session. Actually, believe it or not, when you drink apple juice the night before or a few hours before, it actually thickens your blood, because when you get tattooed, it's very normal to maybe bleed. It's very normal because essentially what it is, you're cutting into skin with a needle. And overnight as well, what I like to do whenever I'm done with a tattoo, I like to just keep the rep on overnight, just in case any ink, comes off. So the next one that I got is Our Chain Will Never Be Broken. This is a very special tattoo for me. This one has an actual meaning behind it because I lost my best friend about 12 years ago. And on his grave, we made pretty much Our Chain Will Never Be Broken because our friendship and group that we had with everyone in the neighborhood was super, super tight. So I was like, hey, I want to have a special tattoo that has an actual meaning because I have all these other tattoos on me. They don't mean anything. And I would love to just get a tattoo, even if it's just one, that has an actual meaning. So that's why I got it. Then I also have the chain with the saber tooth, whatever you want to call it, tiger tooth, shark tooth. I like this one a lot because it adds a different style to the arm. And that's the nice thing about tattoos in general. You can pretty much just make anything you want, your design, place it wherever you go. Now, the thing is with patchwork is, from my own experience I'm speaking, when you have one tattoo, it's going to be very boring because you're like, needs a friend. Then that friend needs another friend. So, when you get your first tattoo, I'm warning you, it is fucking addictive. I said in the beginning, I'm never going to get a tattoo. Here we are. My entire left arm is pretty much covered in tattoos, except the bottom here. That's going to get tatted up as well in a few, so don't worry about that. I got my first tattoo, and then like 4 days later, I had a second one, and then 3 days later, I had a third one. So yeah, it is an addiction. Now, obviously, I don't just get anything tatted on me. I look at a design and I'm like, okay, do I like it? That's the thing. There was one tattoo that I wanted to get, but I discussed with her and I said, listen, I actually don't like this one. I feel like it's kind of out of touch with the theme that I'm going. And also, I don't like the style of it. So could we maybe like let that one go? She, yeah, of course, no problem. What about these two? Yeah, these two, bro, I've been thinking about for days. Love those. This one also has no meaning. I just like the design. We added some touches to it. We had a bit of color in it, like black. I like to go for full black tattoos. Some people obviously like to go for colorful tattoos. The only color tattoo that I have is the skull with the two red eyes, and that's pretty much about it. Then we have the prikkeldraad, which is in English barbed wire. This one I put here because I thought, hey, that actually looks pretty sick. Again, adjusted it to my liking with the color. We actually made it a bit longer so it sticks out at the end with a point instead of it having no point, because we both agreed like it's gonna look really odd if it doesn't have like something at the end. So that's why I got that one. Now, I said in my latest ASMR collection tattoo video a while back ago that I got the color idea of my tattoo artist. We were going through different colors. We were talking about, what may look the best. And I told her I want something that's not too popping by any means. Like blue, for instance, I find very, very colorful. Pink is very colorful. I was like, I'm looking at your eyes. What about that color, hazelnut brown? She said, that is a fantastic color. I think it would shoot you really well. So I was like, okay, I'll get the color that you have, exact color, and I'll get it tatted on this spot. The reason why this tattoo in particular isn't very big is because when you have very big tattoos at a place, you, for the next project, are very limited to what you can put around it. So that's why I made this one in particular not too big, if that makes any sense, because I do have different ideas. Not sure what I'm going to put on the right arm. I'm actually thinking maybe here on the shoulder and bicep that I may put a tribute to my dog, because the truth is, bro, Bella isn't going to live very long anymore. She probably has max 2-3 years left, if she's lucky 4 years, and I think having her on top, because she's my dog, would have a nice meaning. So those are the latest tattoos that I got. Or am I lying? Yes, I am fortunately lying, because not too long ago, I got one of the biggest projects I've done so far on my body tattoo-wise. This one was insane, and this project took very, very long. It took actually longer than we both had expected. I was thinking maybe an hour, hour and a half. Took 5.5 hours in total for these two tattoos, but these two are insane. I like both of them. The pain level, well, the inner bicep was maybe I wouldn't know. From a scale from 1 to 5, super painful, 5 to 10, not painful, probably a 6.7 out of 10. And that was mainly because I had the upper one already done, and then I had to get by the bicep done. But the results are insane. The results are insane. And here's another issue that I'm stumbling upon is I have this done, but then you have these bald spots, as I like to say, and then you want more tattoos. Now, the thing is with tattoos as well, tattoos do cost money. I think so far I've spent around 1.2k on tattoos. Tattoos in general aren't cheap. That's just the truth. But you have to look at it like this. They are there for the rest of your life. Now, do I regret any of these tattoos? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I'm actually happy that I got more tattoos because, like I said, when I had 2, 3 tattoos, 4 tattoos, it felt out of touch. Like, it felt like I was missing something. And because I added these other designs and pieces on it, it feels more right. Now, I got friends that got their entire arm done, and that's really dope. I have friends that have like 2, 3 tattoos. And some people like simplicity. They don't want to over complicate things when it comes to tattooing. And that is completely fine. Again, when you get that tattoo, it's free will. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Now, the next thing is obviously getting this arm tatted. Again, like I said, I sort of have ideas what I want for the right arm, but I don't know what kind of theme. I am aiming for something more happy, if that makes any sense, like no skulls, none of that on the right arm. That's in particular for the left arm. But yeah, let me know what you think of my tattoos. And look, I completely understand. Not everyone is frowned upon tattoos. Not everybody likes tattoos. I know back in the days when you used to get a tattoo, you were looked upon as a criminal in society or the lowest form of society. Nowadays, it's very, very different. I think when you get a tattoo, it's unique on its own way. Like, every tattoo has its own unique story to tell on the person. And my tattoos, again, like I said, have no meaning. They don't have a story behind them. I picked and chose those tattoos because I like them. Now, when I get a tattoo or I design something, I think about it. I'm like, okay, what size and where do we put it? And does it fit the theme? Like, I don't just put random shit on my arm and be like, all right, that's it. I do think about everything before I place it. I print it out. I go talk to my tattoo artist. Me and her, we talk about designing it, maybe adding things, maybe removing things. Those are something very important things that I feel like you should really go through, especially if you're going to get your first tattoo ever, because it's fucking exciting, bro. I was dead ass nervous when I got my first tattoo. And it was great. It felt amazing. I was like, yo, I finally got my first tattoo. And again, like I said, this is an addiction. It's like taking a crack addict and giving him crack. That's the exact feeling. Like, you get satisfaction. You crave more and more. So that pretty much. Let me know what you think of my tattoos. Let me know if you have any tattoos down in the comments below. And yeah, I'll probably see you in a couple of weeks with a bunch of more tattoos on the body. Peace out.